Sorry.
Yes, I can hear you, but when you were on video earlier, I was noticing some really bad asynchronous delay between the video and the audio. So I don't know if you can stand in front of the camera and also speak and talk or whatever, so that way I can see if the sync is still there.
We have a lot of delay with your audio and visual as well. Talk.
Okay.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Let me do a quick test. When I count to 3, I want you to raise your hand, and then once you raise your hand, I'll raise my hand back, and we'll see what sort of a delay there is. Okay? Okay.
Go.
We'll try it. 1, 2, 3.
Gentlemen.
All right. So it is a
really
bit of a
bad.
delay. It's like 3 or 4 seconds. That's about the longest I've seen. It's basically like we're doing a satellite from Fiji. So if students in the classrooms do have questions, we gotta be prepared for a long delay between question and response. But other than that, I see you fine. You guys apparently are able to see us fine. Is that correct?
Hey guys, everybody dress right dress. Put your chapel caps.
Valley Forge, hi, this is Jennifer Oxenford here at Magpie.
Is someone sending content? That's causing some delay. Is that content?
I'm sending content in the beginning, Jim. I have an opening couple of slides.
5 minutes? Is it a 45 minutes?
Let's check the length of the program. Is it scheduled to be 30 or 45 minutes?
The program is scheduled, I believe, for 45 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay.
We just wanted to double check. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. And I'd like to just ask, as I introduce your site as the moderator here, tell me again, who should I say are the presenters, or should you want me to just hand it over to you as Valley Forge National Park? That's fine. You're muted, but I think you're nodding in agreement. Okay, cool. I will just pass it over to you then, and we'll get started in about 1 more minute. I know the Magpie stream is recording live now. Real quick, do we have Del Val High School on from TETN? Del Val, are you also with us? Nick, do you see Del Val on the bridge?
I do not see them yet, no.
This is the TETN office. Del Valley is connected, although I don't see the students sitting in there yet, but they are connected.
Oh, great, Rob. Thank you.
Anytime.
And anybody else connected that we haven't heard from yet? Just Valley Forge and Del Val, right? Okay, very good. I am going to go ahead and... Is that Del Val there? Who do we have connected in the room with a bunch?
Here in North Dakota?
Yes, I can. Hi, North Dakota.
Hi, we have our trainers here that will be watching the session this morning. They
Very
go out
good.
across
Welcome.
the state and recruit classrooms to participate. So we're coming in as a group today.
Fantastic. We're delighted to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get started, I think. So please remember to mute your microphones. I do hear a little bit of typing, so somebody's got an unmuted microphone.
It was me, Jennifer, sorry.
Nick, I knew it was you. I didn't want to actually say anything, but just a good reminder for all sites to please mute your microphones. And let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to start us off with our opening slides.
I don't. Well, that's not going to help.
The land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue, and there's never a boast or brag. Good old acquaintance be forgot. Keep your eye on that grand old flag. Flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue, and there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag.
You did.
Thanks, Nick. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this next in our series of video conferences as part of the Presidential Primary Sources 2012 project. I'm Jennifer Oxenford here at Magpie at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, and I'm delighted to be your moderator for this morning's event. The Presidential Primary Sources project is a very exciting national project with a partnership between many organizations, including national parks, presidential libraries, Internet2, and other regional networking and video bridging organizations across the country. And we're thrilled to have this next session today with the Valley Forge National Historic Park. Before we get started into our content with Valley Forge National Historic Park, I do want to quickly mention that this event is being live streamed. And so I will show you our legalese as part of our disclaimer here. If you are going to have participants on camera, realize that they will be video recorded as part of this event. And so you can read that all yourselves at your leisure. We just have to say it, and also for our live streaming audience so that they know as well. We have had a number of presentations throughout the year already, starting with the George Bush Presidential Library back in November and moving on through the Harry S. Truman Library and the Theodore Roosevelt Center. In December, we picked up just yesterday with Mount Rushmore and a session then, and today we have our Valley Forge National Historic Park session, and we're delighted to bring Washington's leadership in the international community of the 18th century to you today. And before we get into that, I will quickly also mention our partners in this project. As I said, we have a number of different partnering organizations that are making this project possible, and we thank all of them for their efforts and participation and all the schools that are involved as well. Finally, I will note that because we are live streaming the event, you can send in your questions. You can tweet them using the hashtag PPSP2012, and you can also post them on the Presidential Library's Primary Sources Project Facebook page. So either way, we can try to take your questions from a viewing audience who might be watching the live streams, and we'll pass them on to our presenters. I want to quickly let our sites say hello here. I believe we have two sites that we'll hear from today. Our schools, we have Del Val High School. Del Val, are you connected? Can you unmute and just say hello? Audio didn't come through quite right for me. I believe you tried to say hi. TETN, do you have Del Val on? Well, maybe we'll come back to them in just a minute. How about North Dakota? Carrie, can you just again unmute and say hello from your site there?
Still muted.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, folks. We're glad to have you all today. And Del Val, any luck with your audio? Can you unmute and just say hi before we get started? All right. I know they're there. I can hear them trying. I think we'll work behind the scenes to get that resolved, see what's up with their audio. But with that, I don't want to waste any more time with introductions. Let's move on to our content provider site, Valley Forge Historic Park. Valley Forge, please take it away.
Good morning. Welcome to Valley Forge National Historic Park here in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. We are going to be giving you a presentation today on Washington's leadership and how it pertains to global democracy. Something that would be historical information we can use and apply in the 21st century in our contemporary lives. My name is Adam Messinger. I'm a still ranger here at Contemporary Lives. My name is Adam Messinger. I'm a still ranger here at Contemporary Lives. My name is Adam Messinger. I'm a still ranger here at Contemporary Lives. I'm joined during the normal school year. I am an instructor of U.S. history at Valley Forge Military Academy. Right down the street. Today, I am joined by cadets. Military Academy who will be helping us to explore Valley Forge. All right. Now, I apologize. My throat's a little sore today. You see, I'm dressed as a Continental soldier. And let's just pretend that this is 1777, which wouldn't be too off historically, because the soldiers of Washington's army are just getting done fighting two major campaigns, with losses at the Battle of Brandywine and Germantown, and they've been on the march and been on the move until they come here to Valley Forge on the 19th of Now, a little bit about our park here at Valley Forge. This park is operated by the National Park Service, which is a branch of the U.S. Department of the Interior. Valley Forge, this is a picture of Washington's headquarters during the encampment here at Valley Forge. It is one of the main attractions and one of the oldest structures here at the park. Our mission is to educate the American people about one of the most defining events in our nation's history by preserving the natural and cultural resources that commemorate the encampment of the Continental Army at Valley Forge in the winter of 1777 through the summer of 1778. And we do hope that you will come visit us at some point in person. It's a great destination, and we have a lot to offer here at Valley Forge National Park. There's 3,600 acres of protected historical and environmental land. Valley Forge is right outside the urban and suburban greater Philadelphia area. So it not only provides us the cultural treasures of history. It also is a big draw for a lot of visitors who come here. Who come here for some of the biking, hiking, and the park is a great asset to the community all year round. A little bit about the history of this site. There's no battle fought here at Valley Forge. People often will come and ask, well, where's the battle? Although this is a military encampment, there is no battle fought here. It's the Continental Army's third winter encampment during the American War for Independence. And the Army marches in here on the 19th of December of 1777, and they leave on the 19th of June of 1778. Even though there's not a battle fought here, there is still soldiers die of disease and also experience privation of food and clothing throughout that winter. So there are hardships that were overcome. Some of the primary sources you'll be seeing in this presentation are in the form of works of art. This particular painting, entitled The March to Valley Forge by William T. Trago, painted in 1883, is actually in our visitor center. The original can be found in the visitor center. And when we look at much of the artwork about Valley Forge, we'll find that most of it comes is painted at a later date, and not always historically accurate. Would be giving a good look at the Continental Army coming off of this campaign. They were in need of resupply, and definitely in need of time to recuperate and reorganize. The major events that happen here at Valley Forge during the Continental Army's encampment is the Army receives standardized training on the Baron von Steuben. This is important because it increases their cohesion and their battlefield effectiveness. By organizing themselves and training together, they're able to standardize everyone's routine, and they're able to transition that into victory on the battlefield after they leave Valley Forge. The other major event that occurs at this site here at Valley Forge, you have an alliance that is signed with France. This is a major event for the United States because, in its fight against Great Britain, because it provides the fledgling United States not only the French naval support, but also the support of the French Army, as well as their supplies that they will be sending to the United States. Okay. That was just a little bit about us, a brief overview of our site, and we do hope that you come visit us in person. Okay. Can anyone answer me this? What is this? What is this? And why have these men been immortalized on this mountain? Okay. You want to collaborate among?
Valley Forge, are you still there? We're not sure if you
Stand by,
froze
Secretary
up.
Mackin.
Okay, thank you. We're not sure if you
Stand by,
froze
Secretary
up.
Mackin.
Okay, thank you. Folks, please stand by as we bring Valley Forge National Historic Park back into the call. Please stand by as we bring Valley Forge National Historic Park back into the call. Maybe while we're working with Valley Forge to get them back into the call, I can do a quick audio check with our school in Texas. Del Val, are you connected? Can we hear from you? And do you have a guess as to what Valley Forge was showing us on that last slide? Can we hear from you? And do you have a guess as to what Valley Forge was showing
We believed it not only showing the best leaders in our American history for the past 150 years.
I believe you might be right. Of course, I don't want to say for sure. We'll wait for them to confirm that, but I think you're on to something there. Do you know who the leaders were that were displayed?
Lincoln, Jefferson, Washington.
Oh no, this is not a debate team. This is
Lincoln, Jefferson, Washington.
This is not a debate.
Roosevelt and Theodore Roosevelt.
All right. Again, we'll wait for Valley Forge to confirm that when they get back on. We'll keep you in suspense, but I'm glad you've clearly got your thinking caps on and you're ready for this program here today. That's great. But I'm glad you've clearly
It's Jim.
got your thinking caps on and you're ready for this program here today. That's great.
They rebooted their system over there? It's Jim. They rebooted their system over there? Yeah. Yeah.
And forgive me, I'm being reminded that I'm mispronouncing your school. So is it Del?
Yes, it's Del Valley. Del Valley.
Sorry about that. I had it wrong on my sheet. I didn't know that it would be pronounced Del Valley without that Y on the end, but that's okay. Why don't you guys tell us who you have there? What is your class? What grade? And what are you studying?
I'm Jacob. I'm a sophomore here at Del Valley High School, and I guess I don't really know what I would study in particular here, but I'm very favorable towards political science.
I'm Haley. I'm a junior, and I'm studying like pre-law stuff.
I'm Brian. I'm a sophomore, and I'm studying the same.
Wonderful.
I'm April. I'm a freshman. Okay.
Oh, April, you're off camera. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Oh, it's okay. My bad. I'm April. I'm a freshman, and I'm also like in pre-law stuff.
Very good. Thank you, guys. And I understand that this is a debate class that's participating today. Is that right?
Yes, we are Del Valley's humble debate team.
Fantastic. I'm sure you are learning a lot about how our founding fathers were engaged in debate throughout the process of creating our country, and learning some lessons from those folks as they go, as you learn about more of their history and activities in our process of creating the country that we all love so much. So, Del Val, I think we're still waiting, unfortunately, for Valley Forge to come back on. I should take this opportunity to say that there was a major carrier network issue overnight, and so Valley Forge is having some network challenges. I think hopefully we'll be able to get them back on the call this morning. But I know that...
Be back on. We can see.
Oh, you are? Fantastic. Well, by all means, please take it away. Your interactive school, just real quick, your interactive school in Texas, Del Valley, they had a guess as to your last slide that you were showing. If you want to pick up with them, that would be great.
Please, Del Val.
Delaware Valley.
Ma'am, you might need to translate for them since we seem to be able to.
I think maybe just give them a second to unmute and chime in. Del Valley, can you go ahead and state your guess and what you told me earlier to Valley Forge Historic Park, please?
The most influential leaders of the last 150 years in American history. First 150 years.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Thank you very much, Del Val. And leadership is the common trait between all of these American presidents. The textbook definition of leadership is the office or position of a leader, the capacity to lead, or the act or instance of leading, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Leadership always comes down to patience. Leadership does not happen overnight. Leadership is developed through experience. Washington, who we'll be talking about, developed some of this leadership. Now, I'd like to propose another question to you and to my students here with this locally. What qualities does it take to be an effective leader? What qualities does it take to be an effective leader? All right. If you'll think about that, confer, and collaborate on that, we'd be glad to write up some of your ideas here on our smart board. So, guys, if you would collaborate, what do you guys think? What does it take to be a great leader, effective leader?
Integrity.
Okay. Integrity. Why don't you go on up? Go ahead and write that up on the. Go ahead, write that up on the board, on the smart board. Go ahead.
You give him a pen?
Yes, sir. Yeah, try the red.
His face is right.
Try the red.
Slowly.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Integrity.
Go ahead. And Del Valley, we'd love to hear from any of your ideas as well. Or South? North Dakota. Anyone else?
Was that a question for us?
Yes. Any ideas?
Just one word.
This is North Dakota. We'd like to add flexibility.
All right, anything else?
How about one from Del Valley?
No, they're not.
They're not?
That's just it's.
We think intelligence and communication skills.
All right, thank you.
Delaware Valley, just to let you know, you're coming in like T-Pain on a bad day. We might need to skip asking you questions because the delay and the stuttering is pretty bad. We apologize for that because the whole thing about this is to make it interactive, but we'll do our best to provide you the information as best we can.
Okay, so we look at this and we know in our mind what actually when we think of what an effective leader does and the skills that they need to be an effective leader. We think of flexibility, organization, courage, integrity, and motivation. These are all critical components of effective leadership, and we're going to take a look and try to keep those qualities in mind as we move on to our next question. Yes, ma'am?
I think you have time to introduce the key words
Right.
of leadership.
That's an erase. Sir, there's an erase. So you like that?
Loyalty, duty.
Okay. Any thoughts?
The ladder.
Now, I'm going to skip ahead in this lesson just due to the break we had. But what we will do is we will re-record this lesson from start to finish, and then that will be uploaded onto the website. So that will be, you can view it from start to finish, so it's not disjointed. We'll also have these Prezi lessons available from the National Park, the Valley Forge National Historic Park website, starting in January. So please keep an eye out for that. And educators out there, feel free to use this material in your classroom and share this material.
The ladder.
Yes. Okay. Now, we look at Washington's leadership. We look at global democracy, and the Continental Army is not very. It shares a lot of similarities between the military of today. The U.S. Army uses a series of values, all of which are applicable to Washington, and also skills that are needed to be an effective leader in global democracy in the 21st century. Some of these qualities are loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. It makes a very convenient way you can remember this is the acronym leadership, LDRSH. And individually we can take a look at Washington and we have lessons available to take a look at Washington's leadership in each one of these categories. But today, we're going to focus only on one, selfless service. Now, if you'll bear with me as I advance through the slides to make up for some lost time. Duty R, okay, respect. Treating others as you would wish to be treated, okay? To give respect in order to receive respect. See on today. Okay. Is going to be how you interact and how you give of yourself to your community, your country, and ultimately your world. There's a quote down here as well. What we do for ourselves dies with us. What we do for others and the world remains immortal. So it actually has very broad-reaching. This quality has very broad-reaching attributes. Okay. To treat someone with admiration or respect. Medal of Honor, not just a video game. And this is Audie Murphy, the most decorated soldier from America's Second World War. Integrity. Okay, is your moral compass. What beliefs and values and morals one holds, their moral compass to guide them what's right and wrong, which makes up many different parts. It's not just what we think, but it's also what we say, and our actions are all part of integrity. Personal courage. Personal courage is something that has been used from the colonial period into today, from America's foundation into the 21st century. You can find personal courage in the offspring of Washington's army. Now today we're going to talk about selfless service. Okay, selfless service means having little or no concern for oneself, especially with regard to fame, position, or money. Fame, position, or money. I'd like you to keep in mind, especially when we look at Washington. Try to think, does he have the opportunity to achieve fame? Does he have the opportunity to achieve a position? And does he have the opportunity to benefit financially? of May in 1782, after the American War for Independence has been going on for 7 years, Colonel Louis Nicola writes a letter to General Washington where he suggests that a separate state be created where, and as I quote, a strong argument might be produced for admitting the title of king, which I conceive would be attended with some material advantages. Okay, material advantages being money, okay, title of a king, a position. So Washington's offered these things. People are asking him if that's something that could be created. And there's a lot of discontent in the Continental Army at the conclusion of the American Revolution. And on 16th of June of 1783, a group of 300 mutinous or rebellious soldiers march on the United States capital of Philadelphia. They demand back a payment for money on which they were owed, and they these disgruntled soldiers move. Okay. These mutinous actions threatened this new republic or this new democracy order. And General Washington understands that there's an instability and that it wouldn't be possible for a monarch to come in or a king. And he was afraid that the military would abuse its new power. And he had the opportunity where he could have been King George and Queen Martha. But he does not choose to go down that route. What Washington does at the conclusion of the American Revolution, as it ends in September of 1783, Washington makes a selfless decision. He voluntarily resigns from a position of immense power. He resigns as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. In this painting from 1824, which can be found in Washington D.C. in the Capitol, John Trumbull paints a very idealized or romanticized image of General George Washington resigning his commission. It does take some liberties with history, but it is the event in which it represents is a major point in American history in the foundation of a republic or a democracy. Now, Washington's letter was transcribed by one of his aides after and put in the script, and it's been preserved for us through as a primary source. And inside this letter, Washington writes a speech to Congress, and inside this letter, he expresses these leadership values and turns over the power from being military to civilian leadership. And I would, here is a text of this, and I'd like to invite Cadet Pollock up, who will speak and read General Washington's primary source, his letter, his speech to the Congress. You can be right up there, Mr. Pollock. Go for it.
Mr. President, the great events on which my resignation depended having at length taken place, I have now the honor of offering my sincere congratulations to Congress and of presenting myself before them to surrender into their hands the trust committed to me and to claim the indulgence of retiring from the service of my country. Happy in the confirmation of our independence and sovereignty, and pleased with the opportunity afforded the United States of becoming a respectable nation, I resign with satisfaction the appointment I accepted to accomplish so arduous a task, which, however, was superseded by confidence in the rectitude of our case. The support of the supreme power of the Union and the patronage of heaven. The successful termination of the war has verified the most sanguine expectations, and my gratitude for the interposition of Providence and the assistance I have received from my countrymen increases with every review of the momentous contest. While I repeat my obligations to the Army in general, I should do injustice to my own feelings not to acknowledge in this place the peculiar services and distinguished merits of the gentlemen who have been attached to my person during the war. It is impossible the choice of confidential officers to compose my family should have been more fortunate. In particular, those who have continued in service to the present moment as worthy of the favorable notice and patronage of Congress. I consider it an indispensable duty to close this last solemn act of my official life by commending the interest of our dearest country to the protection of Almighty God and those who have the superintendence of them to his holy keeping. Having now finished the work assigned to me, I retire from the great theater of action and fighting and affectionate, under whose orders I have so long acted, I here offer my commission and take my leave of all the employments of public life.
Thank you, Mr. Pollack. So we wind up with these primary sources, and we were able to look back at the actual ways these are written. The primary source in the pen of the actual time period. So this is these primary sources allow us to reflect on global democracy. The King of England, King George III, who's quoted as saying, when hearing that Washington gave up, relinquished the power of his position, he says, if true, then he is the greatest man in the world. So coming from a powerful British monarch, commenting on Washington's decision, his selfless decision, led by example. He removed himself from this position of immense power and allowed a republic or a democracy to form. That's something that we can take a lesson from today in the 21st century. By transitioning power peacefully, he does this again in 1797 after serving 2 terms as the United States, the first president of the United States under its Constitution. Once again, peacefully transitioning power. So Washington is not only selfless to give up power as a military officer, he then again does it as a political leader in the years following the American Revolution. I'd like to take this time to open this up to any questions anyone might have in any of the locations connected to us.
North Dakota, I bet Texas.
Del Valle. Wanted to ask, what got you interested in George Washington?
Personal, what actually got me interested in George Washington? That's a great question. From a personal standpoint, my employment here at Valley Forge as a seasonal ranger. Before that, I've always been more of a Franklin and Jefferson man myself. Really, when I began here at Valley Forge and got to look at Washington's leadership from many different perspectives, it definitely opened my eyes to the quality of individual that George Washington was, and the leadership principles we can take away from the founding fathers of the United States. Thank you. Great question. Anyone else? Anyone else? Any questions out of the cadets?
Would they like to ask?
Cadets as well. You guys definitely can communicate here too. Can we flip? You guys, Del Morel, you want to?
Any questions for the cadets?
Who's your favorite?
Try it again.
Just grab. Connections to that. Connection would be so bad. Just go. Okay. Thank you for joining us once again. We're going to redo this lesson. We're going to make sure it's 100%. We'll have that on a video, and we do hope that you come out to visit sometime. We'd love to have you here at Valley Forge National Historical Park. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Valley Forge. We so appreciate your patience, especially given some of the network demons that seem to have been plaguing several of our sites today. And I think we were able to get a great lesson out of this despite that. Thank you to Del Valley for connecting. And also North Dakota. We are thrilled that you all could connect as well. I believe that the afternoon sessions are being postponed, perhaps. We're not going to do the afternoon sessions. Valley Forge, do you want to confirm that? Is that correct? Yeah, correct. So let's get these network demons resolved and either get a recorded session that we can post on the project site, as you've been indicating, and we'll go from there. So with that, I think thanks to everyone for joining today. And just a reminder, our next session will be on December 11th on the Camp David Accords, Exploring a Path to Peace by Jimmy Carter National Historic Site. So we hope to see you all then. Thanks for joining, folks, and special thanks to Valley Forge Historic Park. Bye-bye all. Thank you.